going on, family? It's your big brother K Reno. I'm in here with my brother Washoff. And before we get started, the first thing we want to do is thank God. We want to thank Him for everything that we have and everything that He's blessed us with. And it's crazy because even though we thank Him a lot, we can still never thank Him enough. He blessed us to recognize the truth, learn the truth, and then speak the truth. And once you believe that truth, then it becomes your truth. So speak your truth. Speak it even when it's a little different from somebody else's, because we gotta understand that it is possible for more than one thing to be right. But what's even better than speaking the truth is living the truth and then standing on it. Stand on it even when the whole world is coming down on your head. Stand on it even though they gonna call you crazy. They gonna say that your truth is a lie. They might even plot and plan against you. But you stand on it with no fear. Cause when you fear man, you disrespect God. And what good is gonna come out of that? So enough of all this yapping. It's time to hear some truth in this rapping. And as you listen, you'll find yourself having to make a decision. And the question will be, will you ride with the authentic, or will you ride with something that's not really yours, like a car that's rented?
I'm here today reflecting on my life and how it was when I was growing up, living with relatives, and I want to accentuate child abuse. I look at my son and the things that he's going through with his mom, and I look at, my situation when I was, living with my auntie and what I had to go through. And I try to, look at it and see if there's any disparities there. When I was staying, with my auntie, it was a lot of things that I went through that I felt wasn't right. I felt that was disparaging to me. I lived with her maybe a couple of years, 1 or 2 years. I was in elementary, maybe first to the second grade, somewhere up in there. And I remember going to school with no breakfast and no lunch. And I remember, waiting all day until she got home, waiting to receive a hot meal. And I remember when I received that hot meal, it was a kid's plate. Of course, I'm a kid, but I had been starving all day, so kids need seconds too. And it wasn't that it wasn't that she didn't have enough food, because her kids, they got seconds. It was just something about me, I guess, that she didn't like, to where she didn't give me seconds. Because even when we went to school, my cousin, she was, the same age as me, she had a lunch. Her mom, packed her a sandwich, chips, had juice, had apple, orange, whatever it was, fruit. And I remember sitting in the cafeteria, and classmate was like, "Hey, ain't that your cousin?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they was like, "Well, why is she eating and you not?" So that was, I didn't have no answer for that. I didn't understand it, but I remember that. And I remember my brothers moving in, over there with us. And I remember, when it was time to take a bath, it was a hierarchy. It was from the oldest to the youngest. And of course, I'm the youngest. So, bath water was made, and it was only like maybe 6, 7 inches deep. And, my oldest brother get in, take a bath. Next to the oldest brother get in, take a bath. And then it was my turn to get in, take a bath. So when I got in to take a bath, I had to take a bath in the same water that they bathed in. And by the time I got in there, the water was so thick and dirty, I'm basically bathing with they dirt, wiping my face, my arms, underarms, ass, everything. So that was pretty nasty to me. I didn't understand it. But, what can you say? You're a kid. You got to conform. Whatever rules she have, you got to, conform. Even though you don't like it, you got to, do what she say, or do what the people say that you're living with. So, going through that, and I remember Christmas time, Thanksgiving, being locked up in the room, not being able to come out and enjoy those holidays. We wasn't, I wasn't, I didn't get to go outside. So I pretty much was in the house. It was either school or being in the house locked in the room. Didn't get to walk around, the house, because she had a house set up in a way to where she ain't want nobody messing up nothing or touching nothing. She was one of them type of persons. And, when my mom sent for us to come, live with her in Houston, we, come to Houston, and, even after I left the lady house, she would come down here to Houston and antagonize me. She would, do a lot of little disparaging, hateful things towards me. And, I didn't understand that. And this was, I go from first grade, second grade of being down there, going through all the turmoil, to moving, to Houston, being older, 10, 11, 12, 13, and still have to go through that every time, the lady come out here to visit my mom. She would, be real mean towards me. I remember one time we all took a trip to Colorado, and we rode with her, and we get out there and, to visit, relatives, and one of our relatives had a drum set, and, I'm on the drum set playing the drums, and my cousin, come in the room, and he's, stick his hand where I was beating the drums at, and I accidentally hit his finger, and he started crying. And my auntie come, in there and pretty much balled her fists up and boom, 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 beat me in my back, despite me having asthma. Beat me in my back, I can't breathe, whatever. So I just, thinking about that, and then just trying to compare that abuse to what my son is going through. And it really ain't no difference. The only difference is that was my auntie, and this is his mom that's doing these things to him. And so the type of stuff that he's going through is mental, is physical, is really bad. She'll get him on her weekends and do something to him, and then he would come back home, and she would call him the next day and ask him who loves you more, or who loves you. And he would say, nobody but you and God. Well, she had him trained to say that. And so I had to sit him down and talk to him. And, he understand that that's not true. But that's what, she believed, or she want him to believe. But he understand that that's not true. But from the time he was, long as I can remember, he only 10 years old. But long as I can remember, she been abusing him, and I've been filling out CPS reports. And CPS is supposed to be is supposed to advocate for kids, but I mean, I'm getting no justice, I feel like. I'm going back and forth to court, behind her abuse. I have, paperwork on top of paperwork. I document everything. And it's really frustrating that, I have to go through this, and I feel like I'm getting no justice. So, I remember. Well, I reported some stuff happened, with him over there, to where he pissed her off, and she threw him to the ground and stomped him in his back and punched him in his face. And he come back and he tell me this. He had to see a orthopedics for that. And the prescription was physical therapy. He's in counseling now for a lot of things that she has done to him. He did forensic interviews, with Fort Bend District Attorney office, and it's just a lot that he's going through. And the difference is, back then with me, is I didn't have nobody to protect me, but he has somebody to protect him, and the shit is still transpiring. The shit is still going on. So a change gonna come, because a change came for me. And, it affected me when I got older. I had a grudge against this lady, a chip on my shoulder. When I wanted to talk to her about it, but I couldn't ever catch up with her. So I started talking about it to relatives in San Antonio, and I told my other auntie, her sister, about it. And, she went and she confronted her and told her, the things that I had said about her. And she called me. My auntie that was abusing me, she called me. And we spoke on the phone, had a conversation. And I got stuff off my chest, and she got stuff off her chest, and we came to a understanding. And that was that. I see her now as, how you doing is love. But as far as my son goes with his mother, I mean, that's his mom, and the type of stuff that she putting him through is much, much greater than what I went through. So as far as, when he get older, I don't know, how he gonna feel towards his mom, if he's gonna be indignant towards her, or if he's gonna be accepting, her into his life, or what. I have no idea. All I know is what it did to me was pretty bad. I mean, it really, really messed me up mentally. So, that's part of the reason why I didn't want to have any kids, because I was like, if something happened to me, I don't want to have a kid growing up without me there to protect him. And, that's why I didn't want to have a kid. It took so long for me to have a kid. But, I have him, and I got to take care of him. But, I just was here, a little wistful today, and just not feeling so happy. about what's going on. I don't know nobody that will feel happy about what's going on. Every day is something different with this lady. And, every time he go over there, it's something different. And, every time I report it, do my report. And if I got to call CPS, I call them. If I got to go to the police department, I go to the police department. I ain't playing no games. And, with all this being said, I pray that something comes out of it. We go to court, I pray the judge do something. Because, the last several times we went to court, it was nothing but a slap on the wrist for her. She tested positive for drug use, cocaine, pills, and, other things in her system, alcohol. She got DWIs while she had my son. The list goes on and on. And, I'm really trying to understand why she still have her rights. Why don't I have sole custody? But in my mind, a change gonna come, and that's all I could pray for. But yeah, I'm just sitting up thinking today about that, and about my life and about his life, and is it any disparities between him and I? And I don't think it is. Like I say, the only difference is that's his mom and that was my auntie. But a change will come.